Hello and welcome to Dinar Daily, your trusted source for verified financial news and real-time insights on the Iraqi dinar and Vietnamese dong. Today, we're breaking down a historic financial event that many have been anticipating for years. The news is no longer confined to private forums or online communities. It has gone mainstream, with official confirmation broadcast directly to the public. For those who have been following the journey of these currencies, this moment marks a significant shift from speculation to public reality. We'll be covering all the key developments, from the official announcement in Iraq to the quiet but equally important movements in Vietnam, and what this all means for you, the currency holder. The biggest news of the day emerged from Iraq, where several prominent Arabic-language news networks aired a segment that sent shockwaves through the global financial community. For the first time ever, respected national channels like Al Samaria News and Al Iraqiyya openly confirmed the revaluation of the Iraqi dinar. This was not a rumor or a forum post but a direct, verifiable broadcast featuring a financial ticker that displayed the new official exchange rate. The ticker explicitly showed the dinar's value moving from its previous rate of approximately 1,460 IQD per US dollar to a newly announced international exchange rate of 3. This public confirmation represents a monumental step for Iraq's financial sovereignty and its re-entry into the global economic landscape. What made the televised reports even more compelling was the on-air presence of senior representatives from the Central Bank of Iraq, CBI, and the Ministry of Finance. These officials not only confirmed the new rate but also provided context and discussed the change during the segment. Their participation eliminated any doubt, solidifying the announcement as a concrete financial shift. For many investors who have followed this story for years, this broadcast was the definitive signal that the long-awaited currency reset had moved beyond theory and into undeniable public reality, signaling a new and very real chapter for Iraq's economy. Following the live television broadcast, the next critical phase began with a coordinated rollout within the banking sector. The Central Bank of Iraq formally authorized financial institutions, both domestic and international, to prepare for live in-person currency exchange operations. This process is set to begin tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. local Baghdad time. The planning appears to be meticulous, designed for maximum efficiency and broad accessibility. This coordinated effort highlights the serious and structured nature of the revaluation, moving it from a public announcement to a tangible process for currency holders. A number of prominent banks have been named as participants in this initial rollout. Within Iraq, institutions like Rafadain Bank, Rashid Bank, and the Bank of Baghdad are preparing to facilitate exchanges. Additionally, well-known financial service providers such as Zain Exchange and Asia Hawala Financial Services will also be involved. This is significant because it provides multiple avenues for domestic currency holders to process their transactions. The involvement of these key institutions underscores the scale of the operation and the commitment to making this process available to a wide audience. Perhaps most notably, the official documentation circulating among institutions also confirmed that major U.S.-based banks have been cleared to process these exchanges. Prominent names such as Wells Fargo, J.P. Morgan Chase, reportedly by appointment only, and HSBC's global exchange desks are now on the list of participating institutions. For holders of the Iraqi dinar in the United States, this is the first clear, legally sanctioned pathway to redeem their currency at the new international valuation. This development marks a fundamental turning point, transforming a marketplace once driven by speculation into a structured and verifiable financial process. The reports indicate that the exchange process will be highly regulated and documented. Transactions will require not only the physical presentation of currency, but also the signing of verification forms, the issuance of official exchange vouchers, and careful cataloging for regulatory compliance. This is a crucial detail for anyone planning to exchange their currency, as it emphasizes the seriousness of the process. It's a clear move to ensure transparency and prevent fraud, transforming what was once a gray market into a fully trackable financial operation under the strict scrutiny of government and banking regulators. While the Iraqi dinar's revaluation captured the world's attention, a quieter but equally significant event unfolded in Vietnam. The State Bank of Vietnam, SBV, issued an internal memo that confirmed an adjustment to the Vietnamese dong's internal rate. According to the official update, the new rate has been set at approximately 4.6565 VND to a single wire, which is roughly equivalent to 0.121 fines per 1,000 VND. While less dramatic than Iraq's televised announcement, this recalibration holds monumental implications for those who have been watching for Vietnam to make its move in a potential global currency reset, according to regional economic analyst Dr. Lin Tran. This adjustment may signal a cautious, phased approach by Vietnam, rather than a single, instantaneous shift. This strategy would align with Vietnam's historically careful and deliberate economic policies. The reports also indicate that the first lev exchanges for the dong could begin within the next 48 to 72 hours, potentially as early as Wednesday morning. This timeline applies to exchanges both within Vietnam and at designated U.S. redemption centers, further linking Vietnam's monetary policy with global financial movements and giving a green light to a whole new group of investors. For many speculative investors, the Vietnamese dong and the Iraqi dinar have been seen as twin pillars of the expected global currency reset. With Iraq having now taken a bold and public step, the financial community's attention is now firmly on Vietnam to see how it will align itself in this unfolding scenario. Should this progression continue, investors holding both currencies may find themselves at the epicenter of a financial transformation with far-reaching ripple effects across global markets. The near-simultaneous revaluation of two major emerging market currencies suggests the possibility of coordinated policy shifts, redefining international exchange dynamics in ways that were once highly improbable. As the moment for a live currency exchange approaches, it is essential for currency holders to be prepared with the necessary documents. At the top of the checklist should be a valid government-issued ID, such as a passport or driver's license. This will be your primary form of identification and proof of legal eligibility. Most institutions will also require proof of address, which can be a recent utility bill, a lease agreement, or a bank statement. These are standard procedures designed to ensure compliance and protect all parties involved. In the United States, currency holders should also be ready to provide their tax identification number, TIN, or Social Security number, SSN. This is a critical requirement because all exchanges of this nature are reportable events and may have tax implications. If your bank requires an appointment, be sure to have your confirmation ready, whether in digital or printed form. It is also highly recommended to bring any original currency purchase receipts or asset declaration forms you may have. For your own security, it is wise to make digital copies of all your documents and even take time-stamped photos of your currency notes. This creates a personal evidence trail that can be invaluable in case of any discrepancies or disputes. Beyond the basic requirements, several procedural details are emerging that currency holders should be aware of. Banks, particularly major U.S. institutions, are reportedly preparing to offer structured payout options in addition to traditional lump sum cash outs. These structured plans might include tiered disbursements over several years or investments in high-yield, long-term bonds. These options are being presented as wealth preservation tools, designed to provide stability and strategic growth opportunities rather than a single, large payout. Understanding these options is vital as your choice could significantly impact your long-term financial trajectory. The topic of non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, has also resurfaced. It is rumored that certain redemption centers may require customers to sign an NDA, especially if they are accessing a contract rate that is higher than the public screen rate. An NDA is a legally binding agreement that prevents you from publicly discussing the details of your transaction, including the specific rate you received. It's a common practice for financial institutions handling sensitive information. It's crucial to read and understand any NDA completely before you sign it, as violating its terms could have serious legal consequences. Finally, for the community of non-elite currency holders, the long-awaited Tier 4B activation is here. In revaluation circles, Tier 4B refers to the general public, the everyday people who have patiently held on to their currency for years. This group has heard rumors of earlier private group exchanges and has been waiting for their turn. With today's official broadcasts and tomorrow's bank readiness, Tier 4B is no longer a speculative concept but a present reality. This marks the opening of the gates for the masses, the official green light for all. Those who have held their currencies with patience and conviction. The global response to Iraq's announcement has been swift and diverse, ranging from academic analysis to market shifts. Dr. Peter Langston, a historian of global currency systems, commented that he has never seen a dormant currency return with such power, calling the IQD's revaluation a blueprint for monetary sovereignty. His perspective frames the event as a historical milestone in national economic identity. This is not just a financial event but a model that other countries may study and attempt to replicate. Financial institutions worldwide are already adjusting their operations. The Barclays UK Treasury Desk has confirmed that their foreign exchange screens now display IQD rates, a clear signal that the currency is no longer confined to a closed system but is entering the broader global trading pool. Across the Atlantic, CNBC analyst Jordan Klein has cautioned viewers to prepare for short-term volatility and a potential liquidity shock as hundreds of thousands of U.S. holders begin converting their currency on retail platforms. The surge in trading volumes for both IQD and VND, with reported increases of up to 800%, underscores both the excitement and the uncertainty gripping traders worldwide. For those who have patiently held on to their Iraqi dinar or Vietnamese dong through years of skepticism, this moment carries a significance that goes far beyond financial gain. It is a validation of persistence, foresight, and resilience in the face of constant doubt and criticism. Many holders endured relentless naysayers who dismissed the revaluation as a fantasy. Yet, here we are, watching history unfold on live television with banks confirming the next steps toward public exchanges. This moment should serve as a reminder that patience and preparation can indeed lead to extraordinary outcomes. You resisted the temptation to sell during moments of despair and held firm when rumors of setbacks surfaced. You continued to educate yourself and prepare for a moment many believed would never arrive. Now the door has opened. This is not just about financial return. It is about the vindication of a long-held belief. It is about realizing that your years of holding strong were not wasted but were part of a larger story of persistence against the odds. For dinar and dong holders alike, this is a chance to be part of a historic financial realignment, a chapter in monetary history that will be studied for years to come. As the long-awaited moment of live currency exchange draws near, it is crucial to approach tomorrow with clarity, organization, and discipline. Tonight, take the time to organize your currency notes by denomination and physical condition. Banks will appreciate well-prepared customers, and this simple step can significantly reduce the time you spend at the counter. Carefully review all your identification documents and ensure they are current and valid. If you have an appointment, make sure you have the confirmation ready, whether printed or saved digitally, to provide proof of scheduling upon arrival. Beyond the paperwork, prepare yourself both mentally and physically. Get a good night's sleep. Eat a proper meal and stay hydrated. Tomorrow is not a typical banking errand. It is potentially one of the most important financial days of your life. When morning arrives, plan to get to your exchange center 10 to 15 minutes early to allow for security checks or any preliminary procedures. Throughout the process, maintain a calm and respectful demeanor. Bank employees are trained to handle these events, and they will respond best to cooperative clients. Be ready to answer basic verification questions and confidently make a decision on your payout option, knowing that your choice will shape your financial future. In these unprecedented times, it is sadly inevitable that opportunists and scammers will attempt to exploit the excitement and urgency of the moment. Therefore, it is critical to move forward with vigilance and discernment to protect your assets. One of the most common dangers will come in the form of digital scams. often disguised as helpful community groups on platforms like Telegram or WhatsApp. These groups may pose as exchange facilitators but often request sensitive, personal information or upfront payments to reserve your exchange. Legitimate banks will never ask for such details through unsecured messaging platforms, and any such request should be treated as an immediate red flag. Another major pitfall is the temptation of so-called private exchange offers. These schemes often advertise rates that far exceed the officially confirmed value, promising investors extraordinary returns if they bypass traditional banks. In nearly every case, these are designed to extract currency, fees, or personal data without ever providing a legitimate payout. Similarly, advance payment scams, where individuals are asked to pay a processing fee to access their redemption, should always be avoided. True, regulated exchanges will never require prepayment of any kind. The safest course of action is to stick exclusively to major banks, licensed redemption centers, and trusted financial advisors who have verifiable credentials. If you have been patiently holding your Iraqi dinar or Vietnamese dong, carefully monitoring developments and wondering when the right time to act would finally arrive, the moment is now. This is no longer a hypothetical discussion taking place in speculative forums. It is a public event confirmed on national broadcasts and supported by documentation from central banks and major financial institutions. The first and most practical step you can take is to contact your bank or designated exchange center directly to confirm their procedures and requirements. Equally important is to stay connected with reliable sources of information. By following channels like ours, you can ensure that you receive updates as they happen, because in a time of such rapid transition, every hour matters. Staying informed can be the difference between a smooth, efficient exchange and unnecessary delays or missed opportunities. If you have questions, do not hesitate to ask them in trusted community forums where experienced voices can provide guidance. Above all, this is a time to share information responsibly with fellow investors so that they too can prepare and benefit. The revaluation is not a distant event. It is unfolding in real time, and those who act with clarity, preparation, and discipline will be among the first to transform years of anticipation into tangible financial freedom.